My name's Alison Jackson. I am the Head of Talent Acquisition at EasyJet. My team and I are responsible for recruiting, attracting and selecting people to work for EasyJet in all kinds of roles. You need to have an opening statement, profile, saying a little bit about you and what you're looking for. And then I think you need to make sure you've either got your predicted grades or your actual grades on there and what subjects you've taken. An interest section is really important just to show how well-rounded you are as an individual. So what do you enjoy doing outside of school? What else do you do in your spare time? And then if you have got any experience or any volunteering, or you're part of any sports clubs, or you've been part of any work experience programs, really important to include that on there as well. I think you have to think what is going to separate your CV from everybody else's. So if you can give it a bit of a personal feel, or you can tailor it to the person you're sending it to. You know, perhaps if you're sending it to EasyJet, you would say you've got a real passion for the aviation sector, and you can kind of justify why that is. That will always be a little bit more appealing to people. I think it's also important, if you can get some work experience under your belt, you should try to. And that might be as straightforward as going to work with your parents for the day. It might not be that you can get a week-long placement somewhere doing what you want to do, but getting an understanding of what it's like to go from a meeting to a meeting, and going from a Zoom meeting to a Teams meeting, and how does the technology work, and how does that feel, and how is it being on camera? All of those things will just help you feel more familiar with what the world of work is like. So I think it's really important, if you can immerse yourself in, you know, understanding what other people do, work shadowing, work experience. You know, if you've got a Saturday job and you've got experience of dealing with customers and EPOS systems and all of that stuff, it will help you in the real world of work. We have lots of roles spanning from you know, bringing people into the company and the HR team, all the way through to working in finance, making sure that we pay all of our suppliers and all of our invoices, working in the legal team, supporting with any contracts, working in engineering, maintaining our aircraft and making sure that we're complying with all of the regulations that are set by the Civil Aviation Authority, making sure that we have the right number of people in our operations team to liaise with air traffic control, to make sure we've got the right rosters and schedule in place. If we've said we're going to fly somebody on holiday on a particular date and time, we've got to have an aircraft there, we've got to have the right number of crew there. So there's quite a lot that goes on in the background to make sure that we can fly. Immerse yourself in as many different things as you possibly can to work out what path you want to follow. So if that's you need to pick up the phone and ring companies and try and get work shadow days, if that's that you need to send your CV off to 100 shops to get some Saturday experience, if that is, you know, you want to go to work with your parents for a day to understand more about what they do, try and immerse yourself in as much as you possibly can and think about all of the skills that you've learned whilst doing that and where you really think your future might lie.